Well, that was a total and utter farce. I was asked to attend an interview with the PSNI because I walked alongside members of the Bloody Sunday family to the Derry courthouse at a hearing for Soldier F. I agreed to come, but for one reason only. I was going to be very clear with the police that no member of the Bloody Sunday families will be attending to take part in this farce. This is an inquiry based upon a mischievous complaint, and that in the light of the fact that 52 years ago 14 people were murdered in the streets of this city, and only yesterday we now have somebody going to court over this. This seems to be the priority of the PSNI today. I've been sitting in there for 20 minutes and the PSNI have refused to send anybody down to interview me. So I'll not be partaking in any further part of this process. I was only going in there to tell them that this is a farce and it shouldn't happen, and that's the end of the matter. And good luck to the PSNI if this is the type of approach that they're taking.
So you essentially walked out now?
I have absolutely walked out because I was only going in there to tell them that I won't be taking part or answering any questions on the basis of a complaint made by Jamie Bryson or somebody else, because innocent families who've been through 5 decades of hurt and pain and injustice walked up a street. It is utterly ridiculous that the PSNI think this is the way to approach victims of what happened on Bloody Sunday.
And just to be clear, you were asked to come for an interview, and there nobody came to interview and you left?
Yes, I was asked to come. We agreed a time of 1 o'clock. I, from the very beginning, believed that this was a farce of a process, and I was only going to go in there to tell them that. But they didn't bother to turn up, so I'm out here telling you instead.
Is it your understanding, Colum, that the police intended to interview members of the Bloody Sunday families as well about this?
Well, all I can say about that is, from my conversations with members of the Bloody Sunday families, no member of the Bloody Sunday families will be taking part in this. I attended as a political representative, as the MP for this city, to make it very clear that this is not a process that we think has any merit, and it's not a process that we will be taking part in, and they wouldn't even give me the opportunity to do that.
I can answer that question for you directly. As you know, I act for most of the families. Yes, the position is that they are looking to interview prominent members of the McKinney, Kelly, Duddy families who attended on the very first day in which the murder proceedings were reinstituted against Soldier F following the successful judicial review that we took in the divisional court when the PPS opted to discontinue that prosecution. A small number of the families walked up back in August, in portion of Bishop Street, accompanied by political representatives, accompanied by legal representatives also, and there was no major political statement in it. Nobody was inconvenienced. The police saw it. The police did not issue any warnings about this is an illegal procession, etc. But what did happen was Jamie Bryson gloated on Twitter, sauce for the goose, sauce for the gander, as if we can equate the Bloody Sunday families with people marching hooded and armed in East Belfast. As if he said, well, this is a quid pro quo situation. Now you must interview under caution families who've already been traumatised. So let's traumatise them a bit more and bring them down to Strand Road police station where they can sit across an interview table and talk about why they attended Bishop Street Courthouse as victims should in relation to support for their loved one who was in fact murdered on that day. To support the PPS, by the way, in their prosecution of that. Even Soldier F wasn't threatened with arrest at any time in the last 51 years. But we have now at least 5 prominent members of the Bloody Sunday Justice Campaign who do face arrest if they don't go down to Strand Road Police Station and be interviewed under caution.
But do you fear ramifications now for walking out?
Well, they know where I live.
And like, it's a possibility you could now be arrested?
Well, if the PSNI think arresting a Member of Parliament for walking alongside and standing with the Bloody Sunday families is the right approach, well, they know where I live.
What offence was it you were understood to have taken part in?
Taking part in an unnotified grade.
What do you make of the timing of this, given that it comes a day after a soldier rep was returned from trial?
Well, it's utterly astonishing. Families had to march and campaign against the might of the British establishment, who tried to quash and squash and hide the truth from the people of this city and from victims of Bloody Sunday. It took 52 years to get somebody into the dock. We finally got there. And remember, that's only about 2 of the murders. There was 14 people murdered in that day, 14 others were injured, and this is as far as we've got. And now today they want to interview me or members of the Bloody Sunday families about walking up a street. We really need to get the priorities straight.